Hey, everybody. Hey. Welcome back. It's another week, and I'm glad. Why am I glad? Because last week, a hurricane was headed directly from Homestead going all the way up to Pensacola, which is where I'm traveling this week. I'm taking my daughter, Amy, to college, my second daughter to college, from Homestead, Florida, to Pensacola. So it looks like that will go off now, which is good. I'm heading out this Thursday. We're going to drop her off and then hang around in Pensacola for a few days, sitting in a hotel, waiting to see if she needs anything, and then coming back here. So, but still, that shouldn't affect a whole lot here. I've been working hard to get videos out and done for all of you. And I hope you all are having a fantastic day, a fantastic week. And I know that people are down in the dumps and depressed and things like that, but things will get better. Things can get better. I played a pile of fantastic games over the past 4 or 5 days. So many games. I'm looking at several of them right now. One of them did not expect to like as much as I did, and I am thrilled. So pleased about that. All right, so this is a Q&A. In this Q&A, I will answer questions that you all ask. Not all of them, but some of them. But before we do, let's do something I haven't done in a while. A top 10 book that Z bought me years ago. So let's find a top 10. We'll pick one near the back. My top 10 weirdest toys of all time. I don't know about weirdest toys. I'm going to change this to kind of unique toys, things that I remember a lot that I like as a kid. Okay, so let's write down some possibilities on this pad here. Definitely Constructs. If you've never seen Constructs came out when I was a kid. Similar to, it's a building thing like Legos, but they were plastic pieces that looked like steel beams that fit on these joints, and the joints were different shapes. That's how the game went, and I mean that's how the toy was. And you could build huge structures and vehicles with wheels, and you could put panels on. I loved Constructs. We'll put Constructs in the list. Mega Machines was great. There's a couple toys that I cannot remember. Let me see if I can find them here. There was one toy that I really liked. It was like a futuristic space thing, but everything worked by magnets. Like you press a button and it would come apart and the different things would move, and there was elevators, and everything on this worked by magnets. And if someone can tell me the name of that, I'd be appreciative, because I cannot for life of me remember what that was like. I had a marble ramp. This was before marble ramps were cool, so I'm putting that on here. And actually, I used a Hot Wheel cars and tracks and stuff for marble ramps. What other toys did I really like? Oh, Squarbles. I don't know if you remember them. They were square marbles, and you had a shooter, and you just pulled it back and shot the square marbles. That was pretty neat. Micro Machines. Micro Machines is one that actually bugs me. Like, why are Micro Machines not a thing today? It seems like that's something kids would like. I would buy my son Micro Machines because they take up a lot less room than Hot Wheel Matchbox cars, which he likes. I get them for him, but man, I really liked Micro Machines. Let's see here. I need some more toys. So... Micro Machine, let's see, what else did I play with as a kid? There's a lot of toys that I wouldn't consider weird. Transformers and G.I. Joes and stuff. Those weren't that unusual. I'm trying to think of weirder toys. No one has given me the whole magnetic thing. That still bugs me. I wish I remember what those were called. What did we play with a lot? We ran around the neighborhood. We played guns a lot, and water guns, and inside I played with Legos and G.I. Joe and Transformers and Lincoln Logs and Micro Machines choking hazard. Pfft, I guess. Come on now. They sell smaller toys than that now for kids. There's all kinds of small things. Micronauts? Maybe that's what it was. Let me look it up. Micronauts. Blah, 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 blah. Armature, micronauts. Let me look in the images. Maybe. Pogs. No, I hated Pogs. I never liked Pogs. I thought they were silly. Here we go. Yep, that is what it is. Micronauts. Yeah, that was cool. Trolls didn't like Trolls. Armatron. Yeah, I did like Armatron. I never had one, no. Tonka Trucks, I like them. Beast Wars Transformers. Well, I'm probably a little too old for me to play with the Beast Wars ones, but Transformers were cool. Silly Putty was a cool toy that I played with that I liked. We also liked those balloons that you would blow up and you could punch them. Nah, that's not enough for a top 10 list, but it was an interesting thing to talk about. So there you go. All right. Let's get to questions. Questions. All right, so if anyone has any questions, of course, everyone's answering the toy thing. So once we get done with the toy things, let's see. Looking forward to the Tom is Wrong video. What video is that? Is there a game with a consensus among the Dice Tower that it's great, but you believe it's terrible? Why are they obviously wrong? You mean like everyone else is part of the Dice Tower? I don't think so. We all have very different opinions. I don't know that there's a consensus where I'm like the only person who doesn't like something. Well, maybe. We may be doing a review soon where I may be the person who likes something the least. We'll see. Are you guys going to be reviewing the Tapestry expansion? Is there anything in it that you are looking forward to that will help improve the base game? Mike Delisio is going to be reviewing it, and I'll talk about it on the Dice Tower podcast because I have played with it. So, there's that. Do you have a favorite 007 movie? Moonraker? I mean, I know it's cheesy and silly as all get out. I don't know why. I just enjoy that one. GoldenEye I liked, too. I don't mind its silly James Bond movies. I know a lot of people like the new serious James Bond movies, which are okay, but there's so many of those. And I would rather watch, say, Mission Impossible. Do you like pesto? Is my answer to that. I don't dislike it, I guess, but it's okay. Wow, okay. I need some more questions. When you play games with your kids, how many play? It all depends on who's there and who's available. Nowadays, we've been playing games on Sunday where we will play. We're currently playing Clank Legacy, although we took a break yesterday because yesterday we celebrated Amy going to college. In fact, the only game I played with my family this weekend was Apples to Apples Marvel, which you might think is bad. It sounds bad, right? It was not, actually, and everyone had a good time with it. Yeah, we played Clank Legacy, and then I just pull out some other games. Did I play one with Ruby, just me and her? I may have, although it's slipping my mind if I did. What are your favorite ice cream toppings that you ran out of first? Whoppers runs out super fast. The kids really like. The one I run out of consistently, though, is raspberries. I buy a bag of frozen raspberries. I melt them in the microwave in a bowl of, just raspberries and pour it on top of ice cream. And that always goes. Have you watched the newest Batman trailer? I have. Do you have a favorite Batman actor? Well, I liked Val Kilmer, actually, as Batman, not as Bruce Wayne, but I liked him as Batman. For Bruce Wayne, probably Michael Keaton. What percent does YouTube take of this super chat? $10. Besides your Kickstarter, what's the best way to support Dice Tower? Well, First of all, thank you very much. I don't actually know the percentages. YouTube just gives you everything in a kind of a lump sum at the end. I think there's a way I could go in there and calculate it out, but I'm not sure. They give a decent amount. I will say that I just have worked on a lot of iconography. So if you are a member of the Dice Tower, you can join YouTube and be a member in it. You pay a certain amount a month. I made icons for how long you've been a member, so some people can see those. And you also have different little emojis, emoticons that you can use in chat. And I added a whole pile of our little dice people that you can use in those. So if you are a member, you can use those in chat. That's not that exciting. I get it, but it is something. And I'm looking at different ways to do that. So besides a Kickstarter, that's a good way to support the Dice Tower by doing that sort of thing. Jamie says, I love On the Underground, but I've only played London. Which map will you play? I'll play both. I like them both. Any news in the Margraves of Valeria review? Yeah, I know I announced that I was going to do this, and then it just got pushed back. Where is it, anyway? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, why did that not get played? I don't know. Reviewed. It got played. I think I was just waiting to gather my thoughts on it a little bit more. So, sorry, sometimes that happens with games. I push it back for various reasons, and that one just got pushed back. It's not coming out this week. I already got the games for this week set, and next week, and the week after. Sometimes I'll push a game to the front of the queue. When there's just some games that I put more thought into, and so Margraves is one of those. Any thoughts on the upcoming Olympia game? I don't even know what we're talking about there, so no, I have no thoughts on it. Have you ever had your caricature drawn? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, of course. Me and Joe, if you can find like the old on the internet. Let me see if I can find that. It's been a really long time, so I don't even know if you could find that picture on the internet. It used to be on our early podcasts, and we made magnets of them and gave them out to people. But I'm looking through YouTube's images, and I'm not seeing it. I like caricatures. They're fine, and I have a few. I guess you could say my Nothing Personal thing is a caricature, too. Yeah, I'm not finding that old caricature. I know it's around somewhere because there's one on my fridge at home. But I like the Dice Guys better as caricatures anyway. I really like having them. Is Amy excited about going to college? She seems to be. It's kind of a different year. I mean, when we took Melody, the whole family drove up. We made a vacation of it. As is now just me and Amy flying there, and I'm dropping her off. There's a lot of restrictions and stuff about dropping her off because of everything that's going on and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to even be able to be on campus very much, which is, it is what it is. But yeah. Let's see. Tom, you so need to go on a cooking channel or to a cooking channel. I like watching food. I'm not very good at it. Like I watched if I was on any show, I'd be on the Nailed It. I don't think I'm necessarily a bad cook. I know how to cook. You learn how to cook when you cook and stuff. I don't cook very often, but I know a lot. And I've always found it weird when people say things like, I can't boil water, I can't make an egg. Just literally the internet tells you step by step how to do things. You can just follow that. But I like to eat food, so there's that. I like to talk about food, but board games. My favorite game mechanism is engine building. Why do you think it's no longer classified on Board Game Geek? Probably they split it into smaller classifications. That's what I would guess. And Tony just posted a bunch of the things which don't show up here. They don't show up in our in the streaming here, but if you're watching the YouTube chat, you can see all of them. White t-shirt with just the blue Dice Tower logo on equals money. Well, we do sell t-shirts on our website, and in fact, we just got a new Dice Tower logo. If you look, made up of all different components. If you could see it on my Facebook feed, under Tom Vasel or under the Dice Tower Facebook group, and I'm just really pleased with that. I think it looks really awesome. I don't know about white t-shirts though. Do you? I hate white t-shirts. Am I the only person? I just don't like the way white t-shirts look. I feel like they make you look fatter. I don't know. I just like black or blue or any color really but white. What's your method for shuffling large number of cards? I'm specifically wondering about the Wingspan decks. That's a good question. So what do I do when I have a big stack of cards? So what I do is I split it into two halves and then shuffle those two halves. Then after I shuffle them for a while, I take half of one deck, half another deck, half and half, shuffle them, and then I do it again. And I figured that does a pretty good job at mixing them up. Like if they've never been shuffled, then I do the deep shuffle. And my shuffling method is thusly. I put a card down, and I put a card on top of that card, another card. And then I do a card, and then a card. And that's a better distribution. Instead of doing 3s and 4s and 5s, and then you get this nice even distribution. I don't want an even distribution. This is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, and 10. And that's crazy. Then I take those, grab a few piles randomly, put those together, shuffle them up a little bit, and then put those on top of each other. And I found that produces wildly good random shuffles. Have I watched Star Trek Lower Decks yet? I have not. Well, I mean, I might have seen like a few minutes of it, but I haven't. How many inside references, jokes are in Clank Legacy for Acquisitions Incorporated? Does it lose a bit from someone who doesn't follow the show? I don't think so at all, because I know I played with Sam and Roy, and I know Sam doesn't watch it at all, and I don't think Roy did. And they got the humor for the most part. I'm playing with my kids now. My kids don't even know anything about Acquisitions Incorporated, but they are enjoying some of the jokes. I'm going to put this in the FAQ. Those games, well, how they chose and updated. Some of them are product placement from Panasarts, who supports our show, and other ones are reviews that I'm doing soon. And Raiders of Scythia is a review coming this week, so I just happened to put it up here. And then as soon as I review it, I take it down and I go, what game's going to be reviewed next? And I put one of those up. That's how I do that. Have you played your early copy of Tidal Blades? Indeed. I don't know if we'll do a playthrough. We'll see. Again, we just do playthroughs of whatever we want. And we've already done a playthrough of the game before Kickstarter. But we will do a review of it at some point. What's been up with you standing for crowd surfing and live board game breakfast? Oh, just because when we were on extreme lockdown, I moved my office into here. I need to use the double monitors and stuff, and I don't feel like carrying that in here every time we do it, so I'm doing it in my office. That being said, I know it doesn't look as good as the background here does, so I'm going to be working on the office to make it more friendly. I'm going to be putting a light in there and working on the background, and you'll see that slowly transform over the next 3 weeks or so. Any top 10 iPad board game app list coming? No, because we just did that for Summer Spectacular this year. It's already on the channel. Just watch a review of Nidavellir, candidate for Dice Tower Essential. Nidavellir is coming from Gigamic to America, and I believe it's in March at this point. What game did you get super excited about and to this day has been your biggest disappointment when it actually came out? I'm going to probably do a top 10 list on this at some point, like my biggest disappointments. Games that I was super pumped about and then played them and it was just not, I was really disappointed by them. I'm always cautious, you know. I was just reading today about people unhappy with reviewers, and no one likes a negative review of their game. I get that. At the end of the day, we do them because it's important to the viewers. We're here for the viewers first. Publishers and designers are secondary to that. We want to promote gaming, but we do negative reviews. But people don't like them, of course. Negative reviews, one thing. seeing your game make a top 10 negative list is even more a little bit knife in the wound type thing. So I don't do, you'll notice we don't do too many negative lists. We do them sometimes, and they're fun to go back and forth. But usually when we do them, they're the sort of kind where we'll do like someone says this game's overrated, and someone else will be like, no, it's not. There's a champion there to agree with them. So we'll see. It might happen, but like I said, I try to make my list more positive than not. What kind of board game art do you find yourself attracted to the most? Minimalist, modern, painterly, hyper-realistic? I don't know. Colorful is where I'm at. Would you ever consider a Dice Tower event in Canada? Right now, we're just excited about any event anywhere in the world. I think we'd all be happy. 7 kids. LOL. Is that why you sport the Amish beard? Well, that seems extremely, what's the word for that? Like, prejudicial, I guess? I feel like I wear this beard because that's just what I feel like doing. I don't personally like a mustache much because the hair gets in my mouth. The beard is below my mouth, and so that's why I have it. I don't know that has anything to do with Amish. I feel pretty confident Amish don't wear a popcorn tie, especially popcorn that looks like it came from the movies. And I'm not pretty sure Amish wouldn't be wearing this microphone. And despite that, I don't think there's anything to do with having 7 kids. I have 7 kids because I love kids. White t-shirts make me paranoid while eating. Indeed. One of the benefits of wearing a tie. You're like, oh, switch ties. Is it still possible to order a double D6 that has 12 sides? Maybe. We're pretty close to shutting down our Kickstarter and everything. But if you want anything, Kenny at Dicetower.com. Do you have a sense of which states in the U.S. play more games than others? Yes. Colder, denser. That's how it works, right? So the Northeast and the Midwest play the most games, which, not coincidentally, is the reason the most board game conventions are there. But they're cold during the parts of the year, and there's a lot of people in a small place, so therefore more opportunities to play games with other people. Where there's the least games, California, Florida. For the classic 10 Days series, how do you play the Mega 40/50 Days Around the World variant? So, 10 Days in the U.S., 10 Days in America and stuff, they have these cards, and you are putting them in order, going from state to state or country to country, and you do that by flying from one color to another, or from going from one that's adjacent to another one. First person at 10 in a row wins. If you play 40 or 50 days around the world, you're playing with 4 racks. You mix everything together, and it's pretty simple. The colors are the same. So instead of flying from green Pennsylvania to green California, I can fly from green Pennsylvania to green Turkey to green Japan, or whatever the colors are. I don't remember. And so that's what you do. You can fly from one board to the other. It takes longer. It's fun. It's not an experience I would do all the time, but I did enjoy it. This person says, I was really excited about Tapestry, but I've read lukewarm things. Any recommendations for something that you enjoyed more? Or should I just take the plunge with Tapestry? Look, I just don't, if a game's, even after reading a review, if a game sounds interesting, play it. Movie reviews, I'll read some negative movie reviews and I'll go, I think I'll still like it. And sometimes I do, regardless of what the reviews said. What games can you tell us that you tried to get for Dice Tower Essentials and for whatever reason it didn't work out? That's actually a decent list. But I don't know that I mean, maybe you can ask me that question in 10 years and stuff, but there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, just stuff, whatever it might be. So I don't know that that's worth, I mean, sometimes I'll say I wanted to get this, but a company already had it. Nidavellir is a good example of that. I played that and I was like, Dice Tower Essentials. So, but the company had already made the deal with Gigamic. It was already done, right? So it's not like we asked them and they said no. We asked them and they said no, we already have a partner. That's fine. But sometimes a company also decides to not do it for whatever reason, or they're talking between two different publishers. It's been a while since you made an angry review. Well, maybe you just haven't seen one. Are games not that bad anymore? Oh no, they're still bad. Or did you just mellow out? Maybe I've mellowed, but they're still bad. Have you played Europe Divided at Dice Tower? I have. I believe it's right over there. I played it recently and really liked it, but I've been struggling to find reviews for it online. Well, my review will come out eventually, but it's one of those ones that needs more thought and time put into it before I review it. Let's see here. Have you been to West Virginia? Yes. Are you still playing Overpower with Roy? No, he's currently working on videos and I'm doing a Q&A. But you mean have we played since this past Tuesday night? No, because we both have many other things to do. Did the teams and the way you like to play them change from when you played in the past? Not particularly. No, I still make them. As soon as I started building decks again, I remembered how I build them and had a lot of fun. What other games do you think are good but haven't received any press recently? Another example that comes to mind is Pangea. Pangea is also on my to-be reviewed thing. Let me give you guys somewhat of a heads up. If I talk about a game and I drag out and drag out and drag out when the review comes out, probably not going to be glowing. It might not be bad, but it's definitely not glowing. A glowing game, I flip those because I'm so excited about them. Like up on my shelf of recently played stuff, there is 1, 2, 3. 3 of those games will be glowing reviews. And so those are going to get flipped faster than that. There's a lot of good reviews, and there's a lot of decent reviews, and there's a couple bleh, and there's one review where I just want to elbow drop the game. But we'll get to those. I don't like rush. Negative reviews, I never rush to get them out anyway. I might if it's a really huge game. That may happen in the future that I don't like. But why rush to negativity? If it's exciting, I'm like, you gotta play this game. If it's bad, I'll be like, don't play this game. Maybe, but why rush that review out? I'm not trying to crush sales of a game. When you bring new people into the Dice Tower family, what is a key characteristic outside of game knowledge that you seek? That's a good question. I look for divergence, for one. And by that, I mostly mean personality / liking of games, or just something different. But I also like people who are enthusiastic about gaming. I like people who are happy to game. I like people with strong work ethic who want to get things done. Of course, you don't know all that stuff when we bring in contributors and things. But, you know, when we bring a contributor onto Board Game Breakfast, I get various auditions. Sometimes it just doesn't fit, right? It's something I already have a bunch of. Someone might say, hey, I'd like to do a segment here on whatever it might be, maybe solo games. So I already got several people doing solo games, so I don't need another one of those unless it's really different. So that's what I'm looking for, something that's different or feels different. Then once they're on the Board Game Breakfast and stuff and they move around, you know, I met Roy by him doing stuff. He did stuff for Sam's show first, and then I just got to know Roy over the years. And when he came on board, man, Roy has such an incredibly strong work ethic, works really hard, and I really like that. So do, you know, Mike DeLisio and stuff, and Kenny. You know, there's just a strong work ethic is something I really look forward. 'Cause With Le Havre, I always prefer playing the long game. I don't disagree on the Nidavellir review, but at the same time, a couple things with it not coming to quarter one. One, I didn't know that at the time. Two, there are a gazillion other games. Time will go by. You'll still enjoy it when it comes out. Have you watched Lovecraft Country yet? I don't know. I'm not a horror fan, especially in TV shows / movies. So I don't know if I'll watch or not. I heard it's very good, but man, I'm just not. I don't know. Would you rather instantly know the rules of any game you pick up or perfectly record every review on the first take? My word, I'd rather know every rules of the game I pick up, period, because if I did that, I would have a perfect take on almost every review. The rules thing is way harder. Do you prefer games with miniatures or standees? Miniatures, by far. Have I seen the trailer for the Batman? Man, it's like a third person. But Zack Snyder's Justice League, that I saw. I don't know. The Snyder cut. It would be funny. Okay, so all the Marvel movies have built up to Marvel Infinity War and Endgame, right? They all built to that. It's kind of fascinating to me that Justice League Snyder cut, the build up to that was Justice League, right? The thing that's hyping this movie is itself, not other movies that have led up to it. But I am not a fan of the DC extended universe so far. I really, really like Shazam, and I thought Aquaman was okay, and I really liked Wonder Woman. But Batman vs Superman, I highly disliked, and Justice League, I did not like either. So maybe the Snyder Cut will magically fix everything. Yeah, 4 hours of it. We'll see. I'll probably watch it because I like superheroes in general. But, meh. Where on earth are all the good electronic or mechanical shufflers? I don't think there is such a thing. I don't use them myself. Do you play chess? Not really. When's the last time you played chess? I don't know, on a Mac? A couple years ago? Maybe sooner, I don't know. Will you teach your children chess? Maybe we have some of them. I don't know. I don't care if they know chess or not. Chess is good for teaching kids strategy, but so are all the other games and teaching them. So, any tips to read through a rule book? It's tough. I mean, I would tell you tips, but every rule book's different. I might flip back to the how to win part, because if they don't tell you at the beginning, it's good to flip back and see that, and that will help color how you read it. Honestly, I don't read a rule book till I set the game up. I set the whole game up, and that helps me a lot looking at the rules for a game when I can see what they're talking about. Can we actually watch you elbow drop the game? No, probably not. How often would you say you're wrong about a game you've dragged out, like you thought it was horrible, delayed playing it, and then after you played it, kicked yourself for not playing it sooner? Oh. That's a good question. I don't know. Like in this particular Q&A, me talking about dragging a game out has been specifically games I've already played. I'm dragging out the actual review. But there's also games I drag out. There's games that are back in our to be played pile. I go look at them like, not today. And then I go look at a few days later and like, not today. And you just keep doing that, right? I'm trying to think of a game that I put off for a really long time and then played, and I was like, what? Tom, you fool. You should have played this earlier. I'm sure it's happened, but I just don't remember it. Have you done a virtual tour of the Dice Hours? We have. You can find it. I think we've done it twice. Someone else wants me to literally elbow drop a game. Is the Dice Tower hiring? We are not at this present moment. We, like everybody else, are trying to get through 2020. What are you looking for in a nice set of dice? That's a good question. Weight for sure. I like my dice to be a little heavier. Wooden dice don't really excite me usually because they're fairly light. Color. I don't know. If I want some heft to them, I like rounded corners. The ability to read numbers. I prefer my dice to have pips if they're six-sided, obviously. Yeah, I just want the dice to roll, and instantly I go 7. How worried do you think we should be the state of the local game store as the pandemic continues to prevent people from gaming in public? Yeah, a lot of local game stores aren't going to survive as a lot of local businesses themselves are not. I don't know that I would be worried about it. I mean, you can worry about your own local store, I suppose. I think if the local store is really good and they work hard, they should weather it, but we'll have to wait and see. Game design and development gets better and better each year. Magic the Gathering is 25 years old. Will we ever see it get dethroned, or is it too well established for future trading card games to compete? I don't think anything cannot be dethroned. You know, right now I'm listening to a podcast called Business Wars, and I'm listening to Amazon versus Walmart. Walmart seemed like they could not be overthrown, and Amazon came in like a wrecking train. A freight train, I'm sorry, a wrecking train, a wrecking ball freight train. And that's interesting, right? Does that mean Amazon can't be stopped? No, something else will eventually. You can be around for a while, but no company has ever just like completely crushed it forever. I mean, maybe some have, but somebody can come in and disrupt it. So, yeah, Magic the Gathering's been around, and they have a really strong development team who works really hard to consistently make the game better and more interesting. So I don't know that it will be dethroned anytime soon. Have you ever had an issue separating work from play, as in you're just trying to have a regular game night and have to turn off the reviewer mode and just play the game and have fun? No, because I never turn off the reviewer mode, but I don't care. I'm just having a good time. I have fun when I review games. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't bother me. Lots of people are like, keep asking me, like, what's the best game of this year so far? You gotta wait just a couple more months, then we'll tell you what we think. The CGI in Justice League can't be saved by a different cut. Well, I don't think the CGI was my problem with that movie. Have you had a gaming experience where you teach a game to new players and all of them hated the game except you? Oh, at least 30 times. I'm sure of it. Don't bother me. People hate the game. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you a bad gaming experience. Let's play another one. Is it weird to you how much attention you get and how recognizable you are in board gaming? Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that like board game designers and publishers aren't more well known, but they're also not sitting in front of the camera. So because I sit in front of the camera and people hear me and hear my voice and things like that, they know who I am, and that's why they recognize me at cons. And that's all well and good. There's nothing we can do about it to change it really, unless a designer, and the designers who do come out and make themselves well known, like Jamie Stegmaier, James Hudson, a few of these people who are consistently in front of the camera, more people know who they are because of that. Ooh. I just got a giant box. Ah, I know what that is. I know what that is. I am texting my wife to send these large boxes in. I know what they are. some big boxes of games. All right, is the big hammer ever going to come back to judge games? Where is that big hammer? Probably. Kenny must have stored it away somewhere. I remember you didn't play Magic Maze for quite a while, and then you liked it a lot when you played it. Oh, okay. I don't get that. There's lots of games I don't play for a while, and then when I play, I'm like, yeah, that's really fun. What do you think it will take to make hardcore Euro games demand better new themes for Euros? Most I know almost seem turned off by thematic Euros with the criticism that they aren't really, I don't know, I don't get it. But at the same time, I don't think there's a ton of people. But I'm telling you, the people who like these, they just turn off in their brain. It's like, yeah, theme, whatever. How did the mechanisms work for this game? And some people like that. I don't fault that. I disagree with it. But that's a disagreement from myself, right? In the sense of that's what I'm looking for in a game. I'm tired of these same old boring themes. I want new and unique themes. But the people who don't care about the themes, who just care about the mechanisms, I disagree in a sense that that's what I'm looking for in a game. But if they don't care about themes, then what do I, that is what it is. They like the mechanisms. And he plans to show off Amy's painting. I think you mean Holly's painting. Holly, my third oldest, is the one who paints. We might do it in a while, but she's more shy. I don't think she'd want to come on camera. Well, nowadays. She was on camera quite a bit at the beginning of the Dice Tower. Would you rather be able to know the rules perfectly at every game, but not being able to teach it at all? Or would you rather be taught every game by Rodney Smith, but take 2 games before you understand? No. What is this nonsense? I like that logo. No. I just say no. This whole would you rather be stabbed in the eye or stabbed in the foot type thing. I don't know if I wouldn't want either of these. I remember last year's top 10 of the year that some of you hadn't played games on other people's lists. Should you make it a goal to go back and play games that you missed that others think that you'll like? Well, I mean, time-wise. So let's take a look here at the top 10 2019 games. So we did these, and for the life of me, I don't remember. I don't remember what the lists were, so let's take a look at Z's and Sam's game. All right, so Sam said Atlantis Rising 2nd Edition. Yeah, I played that. Zombicide Invader, played that. Rurik, I played that. Reavers, played that. God of War. Haven't played that, but no, I didn't have any real desire to play it. Clank Legacy, I played that. Funkiverse, Star Wars Outer Rim. That one I mean to play at some point. I haven't. Obscurio, I didn't like that much. And Joan of Arc. No, I haven't played that one. I might at some point if it came across my radar. Okay, so let's take a look at Z's list here. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. All right, Z Trails of Tucana. I do mean to play that one. I have not yet. Black Angel. Played it. Azul Summer Pavilion. Played it. Hadara. I've since played this one, and I really, really liked it. Nagaraja. I haven't played that one. I should. Detective City of Angels. I like it. Claustrophobia 1643. I didn't really like the first one. I mean, I thought it was okay. I don't know that this new one would change my mind. Razakana. Played it. Atlantis Rising 2nd Edition. Played it. Imperial Settlers Empires North. Played it. So, yeah. I mean, I've gone. Okay, I went back and played Hadara. I'll play some of these if they come across my path at some point. Do you foresee a surge of creativity due to downtime during the pandemic? I don't know. I mean, on one hand, yes, we're seeing people be more creative, but on the other hand, people are not being creative. I don't know that we're seeing more creativity. And I think part of that is because a lot of people are just depressed and aren't doing a lot at all. And I mean, that's easy to get into. I mean, there are days I wake up and I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. Just sit around, play video games, watch TV or whatever. Then I slap myself and record some reviews. But I can see how that happens. I read this. I'm getting into stocks right now. I'm like, what did you do? Oh, not those kind of stocks. And was thinking on getting on some Hasbro stock. I think right now it's time. I know nothing about stock market in general, really. So I couldn't make any recommendations in that regard. What's the biggest mistake you can make, I think, when trying to get non-gamers into the hobby? Assuming that their life will be better if they just played games. That's kind of the philosophy we have, right? The whole world will be better if everybody played games. And you're like, listen, if I can just find the right game, so-and-so will love it. And that is not necessarily the case, right? It is not necessarily the case that people will just love a game. They may not like gaming. And I don't know that I like if people do that with me. Like, I got some people that I know who are like, Tom, you would really like deep sea fishing. Maybe I would. Or Tom, you would really like hunting. I don't think I would. Oh, no, you'd love it. You just got to try it. And then sometimes you do try something, you're like, I don't like it. Someone's like, well, you didn't try it the right way. You're like, how many times do I have to try something? And that's how some people might feel if you don't like board games. I think it has to be organic. I had some, if I have someone over to my house for a meal, I used to every time bring out a board game. Like, I'll find the right board game for these people. Now, just if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Board games do not have to be played by everybody. I think everybody could like board games, but it's not my job to make it happen. What is my favorite dinosaur? Maybe the Stegosaurus. Is there a hat style you wish you had in your collection? I have most of the ones I like. Like the Fedora and Trilby are my favorite, although this type, this is the one I want to get more of these, but these are hard to find that are different colors. I love to get brightly colored versions of these, but also quality, because a lot of the real bright ones of these are not very good quality. Baseball caps I like, of course. Cowboy hats are fine. They're just not as useful in like other settings than being outside. I don't know if there's a particular hat I don't have style that I want. Do you think there'd be a good market space for a contributor that does house rules? Maybe, but see, a lot of things is, a lot of times we think of these, well, anyway, or they said, or reviews, up-and-coming Kickstarters. Well, everyone's doing the up-and-coming Kickstarters. House rules are tough, right? Or any new segment. Sometimes someone will say, here's an idea for a segment. Like, oh, okay, how long can you do that? Oh, I got plenty of material. And after 5 segments, you're like, oh. I mean, so think about this. So let's say you house rule. How many games are you house ruling? More than 5? After a while, I'd be like, really? You're house ruling that many games? I don't know that it's a segment that could carry through very long. What's my favorite desert? The Sahara, maybe? Dessert. Well, fans of the channel know that, of course, key lime pie. But there's a place here in town that makes key lime empanada. And it's good. It's really good. And I gotta say, I really like ice cream sundaes and an amazing donut. We have a place here in Miami called Mojo Donuts, and one just moved within half hour of me. It's too close. Since you know what the giant box of games are, can we know what they are too? No, sorry, because until I open them, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so the box size I'm talking about, it's not that big. It's about this big here. But that's pretty big for games. Again, I really think I know what's in that box, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to. Oh, here, I'll show you the. Can I put the box picture here? Yeah, there it is. You can see the box. That's a big box, right? And there's a small box underneath it, and then 2 smaller boxes on top. And you can see part of the Vasel family's gigantic shoe collection, and then some leftover balloons from yesterday's celebration of Amy graduating. Yay, Amy! Now, how do I make that picture disappear? There you go. You never know what you're going to see here, and I Q&A with the Dice Tower. Do you like to take pictures with the fans or sign stuff during conventions? Sure. It's a little weird to me to some degree. Like, why would you want a picture with me? But I like them. I just wish I always, whenever fans take pictures with me, I always say, hey, can you send me one? Or I try to always say that, but it happens very rarely. I wish I got more of these pictures because I would store them in a folder. I like to look at all the different fans that I take pictures with because it's like a two-way thing. You might want to take a picture with me, but I like having the picture with you too. So if you've ever taken one with me, and you've never sent it to me, if you could, I like keeping these pictures, really. Just send it to tom@dicetower.com. What's my favorite desert? Have you ever had thought of having a feature where you highlight some of the files, things that were 3D printing? Well, our 3D printer is broken right now. And Roy has not figured out what the problem is. He thinks it's with the nozzle. I don't know anything about it. And we're so slammed doing stuff that we haven't been able to get that dealt with. Is there a reason FLGSs don't sell used games? It seems like something that could be lucrative cash flows. Not as lucrative as you might think. They would have to do a pretty high markup to get them. People don't want to pay a lot for a used game. So say everyone yells at GameStop, right? Because GameStop pays you almost nothing for used games and then sells them for 3-4 times the price. But you'd have to do that for it to be worth it. And then people aren't going to want to go in and pay a huge amount for a used board game. So let's say Ticket to Ride, you sell it to them. How much are you going to sell it to them for? $5? Because they're not going to be able to sell it for too much. They're going to have to sell it minimum 50% probably of what the shrink wrap one is, which means they're going to have to pay you a maximum of half that price. So you're getting a quarter price for it back. That's why. If PAX Unplugged isn't canceled, will you guys go? I guess it would blow my mind if it wasn't canceled. I don't know, I think it's canceled. I mean, it feels like it is. They haven't officially canceled it. And I know someone sent me a thing that said Philadelphia said no large gatherings, but the Philadelphia Convention Center immediately sent out something that said that doesn't affect us. Again, I don't know if this is all semantics and stuff. We'll just wait to see if force majeure makes it happen. You probably answered this before, but how much has the coronavirus changed or will change FLGS and what they provide for gamers? Now, I know I already mentioned this earlier in the thing, but that is something to be said here, right? At this point, the local game store is there just to buy games. There's no other reason to get anything from them. So if you're going to buy games from your local game store, that's fine. And if you believe in, hey, support local, that's good. But we're down to that one reason, not because it's a place to hang out and play games, not because they're spreading the joy of gaming in the community. Well, I guess you could argue that selling games does that. But that's a place to buy games. So, but if you believe in, hey, support the local economy and what have you, I'm more of a global economy guy myself. But if you believe in the local economy type thing, then that's the reason. So yeah, I think it's going to change things to that end. Is gaming growing? Yeah, right now that's because people are looking for something to buy. And I've heard a lot of game stores are doing quite well right now. Not all of them, but many of them are. Have you considered setting up a show similar to Will Wheaton's Tabletop under the Dice Tower? It's a show that got me in hobby, and shows like that do a great job of expanding the industry. Sure, but they spent more money on Tabletop than I probably have spent on the Dice Tower throughout our entire history in one season. They had a team of editors. I mean, there was a lot of people worked on that. They would play the game, shoot the game. They would shoot scenes twice and things to make sure they got them and edit it all together afterwards. And it's a great looking product. It's fine. It's just not something I personally want to do. I'm not playing a game here, and if the joke didn't come off right, we make a different joke. I want our stuff to feel unscripted and interesting. When you watch Dice Tower playing a game, I want you to watch us playing it real. I'm not saying it wasn't real on Tabletop, but it's still was edited to some degree. You know, if somebody messed up or someone was talking over someone else, they'll stop, say, okay, let's re-record that. And that's fine, but that breaks up the flow. I mean, we've done that before in a Dice Tower with things that we messed up in recording. We'll do a top 10. Z will say something, I'll laugh really loud at it, and maybe the video gets messed up. We need to do it over again. So Z will say it, and I'll laugh, but it is not the same. It is not spontaneous. We can act a lot, but it's just not the same. So that's why, and money, right? But to be clear, I'm not insulting the show at all. I think Tabletop did a lot of good. I just don't have the production center for that. Which game would you say the guys will say you're most wrong? Are you trying to stir up trouble here? I don't know. We argue about games all the time. I don't know that there's any, like, everyone versus Tom type things. Do you think the no strings attached gaming will give you a chance to play some of the games others have suggested to play? Well, probably not, because I literally named it no strings attached. Like, nobody will tell me what game to play on that show. I'm serious. It is whatever I feel like playing, or anyone else. We got some no strings attached this week from other folks on the Dice Tower, and they can play what they want. Nobody tells us what to do. I'm not telling people what to play, not to play. I'm not taking any suggestions from people watching. I'm just going to play whatever I want to play. And maybe it will be a hot game you're interested in. Maybe it will be a game that you've been wanting me to play, but it's just going to happen because I felt like playing it. Am I planning on doing a comparison video between Raiders of the North Sea and Scythia? That's a good idea. I might do that, actually. It's not going to happen this week, but that might be in the future. You've mentioned before that you access BGG every day. I do the same, and it all looks the same to me. What do you search, check in Board Game Geek? Well, I have subscriptions. So I subscribe to everything that I post. So if anyone comments on any of my videos or anything that I'm subscribed to, I see that every day. So that's the main thing I do is I check subscriptions. I'm subscribed to certain things like the news. So if Eric Martin posts anything on the news, I read it. Or someone posts a designer diary. There are various other people that I'm subscribed to on Board Game Geek. So if they post something, I read it. And then sometimes I'll do a quick scan and look at different threads of different things that have come up. And sometimes I'll subscribe to those threads. It's mostly subscriptions, but I also use it for the job here. What did someone review this game? Did someone do this with this game? I just like looking that stuff up. Not getting notifications of the streams anymore. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I mean, we were posting our streams like a week in advance, so we stopped doing that because people were getting a whole pile at one time. So now we're like putting them up a day or less ahead of time. How many Gateway games should someone own? I'm struggling to think of any game about gates that I really enjoy. So one, I guess, if you feel like you need to own something about gates. When are you wearing your train tie again? I don't know. I just go to my closet and pick a tie out each day. Today is popcorn tie day. Also, though, matching socks, popcorn socks, that is a sign of class. That's what the guy under the bridge told me. I've not seen any episodes of Stargirl. People were talking about, apparently I'm very far behind in questions. When are we getting Vicious Fishes 2, Extra Vicious, Extra Fishy? Maybe. How do you get the motivation to dress so nice all the time? I'll tell you what, that I can answer. Dressing up like this makes me work harder. It makes me more wide awake. Sometimes I roll to bed, put on shorts and t-shirt and stuff, and I'm just kind of all day. And that's part of it. I don't know. It's psychological. I don't know what there's that whole book based on this, right? Dress for Success. But I don't know, if that really is true or if it's just psychological. Who knows? Well, that's it for today, folks. I'll be doing another Q&A next Monday, likely. We have lots of other things coming up this week. Tomorrow we have a live playthrough, so come back tomorrow morning for me, Roy, and Mike playing a game. Wednesday, we got crowd surfing. Thursday, live board game breakfast with Mr. Stephen Bonacore. Thursday also, a top 10. I won't be involved in it, so it's probably amazing. And then a few nights this week, like I said, we got no strings attached, so just keep an eye out for all of that. And that's it. So until next time, I am Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Live Q&A on the Dice Tower. We'll see you next time. Alrighty, let's make myself a root beer float, Got my straws, got my cherries, and this white whatever that is. Oh, that's the ice cream. Alright, nope. These all say co-op challenges. Where's the solo stuff? There's got to be solo stuff in here somewhere. I saw it. Co-op. There we go, solo. Place a cherry on the ground. Roll the can so it touches the cherry. Okay, put the cherry here. All right. So I got to roll the root beer can so it touches the cherry without knocking it. All right, let's see if we can do that. Here we go. Come on. You can do it. All right, let's try it again. Okay, that was like, I missed it. Come on, Vasel. That's a stupid challenge. All right, let's see. Balance all 4 straws horizontally on the top of the root beer can. Oh, that's easy. Then walk 10 steps forward without any of the straws falling off. Woo! Okay, let's see if we can do that. We're not going to walk 10 steps here, though. Let's see how long we can do that. Oh, wow, that's hard. All right. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. That one just falls off no matter what. Woo! Hear that thunder. Okay, so I can see that with 3 straws, it seems to be more possible. I can just go back. Oh, okay, all right, that's dumb. All right, let's see what else we got. Rest root beer can on the top of the straw. Use 2 so it sits. Okay, so rest this one here. So use 2 so I need to use 2 to turn it upside down. I can do this. Okay. Nice. I am the champion, my friend. All right, that's 1 I've done. Place 2 cherries. I'm not doing that one. Nope, lie on the ground, not happening. All right. I need to use 2 straws. Pick this up, put it in 10 seconds. Ready? Go. Easy. All right, next one. Toss it from behind your back and over your head and catch it with the same hand. Oh, that's dumb. Place a straw in one hand and a chair in the other. Toss them at the same time and catch them in opposite hands. Woo! Okay, I did it once. That counts. Woo! Woo! Okay. Stupid. Woo! I did it twice. That's all that matters. Okay. Toss both cherries in the ice cream ball above your head and catch them all. That ain't gonna happen. We'll try it, but it ain't gonna happen. All right. Here we go. Ready? Well, I caught the cherries. Let's try it again. Yes. Yes. Put the ice cream ball between your thighs? No. Nope. Nope. Why do so many of these involve me like standing on the ground and kicking things? Where's one for someone who wants to be just lazy and sit in their chair? Did I just go through the entirety of all the solo challenges? There's got to be more in here. Come on. Oh, here's a whole pile of them. All right. Bounce the ice cream ball into the root beer can from one straw length away. Okay. Where'd all the straws go? Oh, here we go. Bounce it. All right, here we go. Boom! Gotta do that paper out. That would have been more satisfying to hear it. Oh, come on. Yes. All right. Now I have to hold the root beer can, hit the ceiling, and catch it. All right, here we go. Woo! All right. That's right. Oh, man. It bent. Okay. Oh. Well, for this one, I got to take off my... No? All right. So take the shirt off, and then what?